On the topic of these affordable housing places that are around, I'll mention one called Tom Care out of London, Ontario, Canada. I even gave it a chance for 1 month because I looked at the pictures and the website and it looked pretty decent. Okay? Even on the pictures and whatnot, it looks pretty decent. But I'll tell you what. They try their best over there and it's relatively clean, but at the same time, I don't know what it was, but the rooms were not clean like this. Okay, and it was very hot. The air conditioning wasn't running. There was way too much cigarettes going on. It's part of their thing to smoke, and it just wasn't a facility and it just was too small for me. Now, I'm sure this is how it looked when it first opened up. They have way too many people in it. It's got to do with greed. With whoever the man that's running it must only care about the money. The carpets are ruined now. It needs a full remodel, and that's like many places, but this one specifically. Oh, it was just horrible. It was a horrible atrocity of a place that I stayed at. It looks really good in the pictures, but I'll tell you what. Okay, in actuality, in real life. Okay, they're smoking so many, it's like a full-time smokers thing right here where they're smoking cigarettes. Okay, and then there's a lot of crack smoking inside the house. Okay, so not everybody wants to be a drug addict when they go to these places either, as you see with the reviews. Like Ron Cameron. He looks like a guy that looks to be wanting affordable housing, but he's a good, healthy man. And he wants to succeed. So I'm not saying, like he says, the food was pretty bad. The food was good. The girl did a good job with the food, but it's such a horrible environment altogether, other than the food or whatever. Okay, and that's the responsibility of Lance Tom, the owner of that facility. And they never refunded me. I left early, and they should have given me at least a partial refund. But he says here, Lance Tom, who runs the place, is a slumlord, according to my friend Dan V, who lives there. Oh, so Ron didn't live there himself, supposedly. He takes the full amount of your entitlement, which is ODSP in this province, and allows for rent. Allowed that they allow for their rent or whatever, and they take your basic needs as well. This is money that is highly valuable. He's making a huge profit over there. Okay, I had to pay $1,400 to get in that place. Okay, and it wasn't as much food that I could cook and make myself, as well as I'm not a druggie and all that. It was just horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay, it's horrible in there. And they force you to pay for food and other people's cigarettes and things. And then the huge profit that Lance Tom gets and whatever. And you have to share a room with no locks. And that's what they tried to do to me. They had told me I was supposed to get a private room. And then they kept trying to make it a shared room. Okay. And the food sucks as much as the menu. Now, I can't agree with that. The lady did a great job on the food. And she made a rotisserie fettuccine one night, and she made some other things. But see, I was just too advanced to be in this property. I had a very expensive laptop worth $2,000, and I had to, and theft is very rampant over there because people want to sell expensive things to smoke their crack. So I always had to have my big backpack on me, because I was carrying such a highly valuable piece of hardware that now I'm recording these videos and generating income with. So it was a long battle over there for that month that I was. Not necessarily a battle, but it was hard to hold on to things. Okay, now I'm in a place and I'm holding on to things. But it's not a good place to stay if you are trying to get back into the community. Now, I have to disagree with that. It may be a good place to stay, but with the overpricing of how much he's charging people and things to stay there to make his huge profits, it isn't a good place. You could head over to the Men's Mission, which I have to credit as being one of the best, if not the best place I've ever stayed. Now that place is relatively clean. It's one of the cleanest that I've ever been to, but it's relatively dirty too. As you can see here, it gets dirty too. All right, but that's sort of the process that these ones deal with, and they have some great food over there too. Some great food. Okay, you should be able to make it so far with what they provide you over there. Okay, but it's that pipe. Picking up that pipe. And I'm so sorry for these graphic images that are posted here on Google. But at least, and they even give you a ticket to go over to the Mission store to get clothing to start a new life. And I know some people like my mother's friend Chris, who has stayed there and became very successful, and I'm doing all right for myself too. And they have a church in there too, and they also have a church service, and they let you stay there basically for way cheaper than this TomCare, and I believe they even have Wi-Fi as well, and they have but you can only stay there for so long, right? But they are very but see, it all worked out for me because I am one with the Lord. But they tried to discriminately put me upon the streets, but the Lord then saved me. He's always there for me, and He highly blessed me. But the time that I did live there, it was a good experience, and it was a really good place. And look at how far I've came. Even the Prime Minister's jealous of me. Okay, many wealthy ones are jealous of me, and that is thanks to places like this Men's Mission. Look at all the wonderful sponsorship deals that have landed. iRobot, that's a $1,400 robot some people could only fathom dreaming about getting. Philips, pasta maker. Okay, HP, computer manufacturing. Dell Computers. Okay, Apple. And some other ones, Western Digital, and many other companies that I've landed some sponsorship packages with, and many others have donated as well. But they were the ones that offered me a place to stay in the beginning when I really needed it, and I have to recommend them, or places like them, even the Salvation Army. You know, that one in London needs a lot of work. I'll tell you that much. It's this great facility when it comes to the architecture of the building and whatnot. But I'll tell you this much: the bathrooms in the living facilities need a lot of work because you need the elimination of some of these ones that are destroying that with their defamation of the facilities. Okay, and I'm not talking just about garbage. I'm also talking about bodily fluids and things. And there also needs to be a look at the prejudice on people that need to have bed time and all that more than others. I was in high need of bed rest, and I was denied that. But look at how far I've came now and how successful I am, and I've donated to the Salvation Army before. Okay? So there needs to be, like, it goes back to that, who's in authority? Okay? And but I got appropriate bed rest. You know, I think I did sneak in to get bed rest, because I needed it so badly, all right? But they treated me like I'm one of these ones that have been there 10, 15, 20 years somewhat. And I haven't been. That was the worst of the worst. I've never been homeless in my entire life, other than those times. But I'm so gracious for what they did provide me. They provided me nutrition, a place to sleep. Now it does need a lot of work on, like I said, and that was just that one in London. All right, it's the Salvation Army in London. Other than that, I've stayed at some other ones, and they are much cleaner. Okay, what's the best one? The one in Brampton is actually fairly good. I will credit them. It's on Wilkinson Road, and that one's a fairly clean facility. In Wilkinson Road, on Wilkinson Road. All right, that one's a fairly clean facility. Now, I don't necessarily know. They have full-time security too, but sometimes the security can be a bit hard on people, but they were never too hard on me. But that one I have to credit for being one of the cleanest ones that I've stayed at. And I have to credit some ones in Toronto as well that were really nice, such as the one on Queen and Sherbourne. Queen and Sherbourne shelter, the Maxwell Megan. I have to credit them for being a very good shelter. They have some great staff over there. There's two gentlemen that I can speak of. You know, I just can't get their names off the tippy top of my head, but they're there when you go down to have something to eat. It's either one of them. All right, and they were very kind. Okay, and they have air conditioning in this facility. Oh, okay, it was nice. All right, blowing air conditioning and yada yada. It was really nice. And then there's this other one that's right down the street. Down Queen, and that one is called Good Shepherd, is it not? Or something like that. Good Shepherd Ministries, and that one is really nice too. This one is extremely nice. But they only allow you to be, like, you can only go up at a certain time, and it's hard to get into. They only select certain people that they allow to come in. And the food is unbelievable in this one. Okay, it's like a buffet style, and Toronto has a lot of really great food companies or whatever that supply that food, and the staff's really friendly over there as well. And one girl even sat at my table with me and ate dinner with me one time, or was it lunch? I think it was lunch actually. Okay, and I can't thank them enough. All right, and they're a wonderful facility, and that's a facility that you can go to if you're in desperate need, but don't think it's just a freebie, but it is. Sometimes there's people that are a part of those communities. So, like, that was just in my specific case, but say you're somebody that's in much more dire need, I'm sure they'll be there for you. They were there for me.